Hey cats, it's your midsole man, EDDBUD here, back with another episode of the running news. I pull together all of the different running stories that I found of note over the last week or so and present them to you in an easily digestible package. Think of it like a running news calzone. If you're new to the channel, help us hit 30,000 subscribers. We are almost there. You could be the one that pushes us over the edge. Hit that subscribe button, click the bell below for notifications when we launch the new videos for you. Also give this video a thumbs up like and share it with your running buddies. Dankeschön. Before we get started, if you'd like to support the channel and help us to continue to grow, hit us with a super thanks below if you've got a particular question you want to get straight to me. Story number 1. The close to legendary poster on Instagram, LabRat Rundown, has placed up some info and results surrounding the potential running economy of the ALPHAFLY 2. Is this new version of the shoe actually any better in terms of running economy than the original? The data suggests, at least for the runner involved in the statistics, that the running economy data isn't quite what it is in the ALPHAFLY NEXT% original. I think in terms of the VO2 max score there, only 2.2% running economy improvement, at least versus the control shoe, which is that ASICS Hyperspeed, and a 2.9% for the ALPHAFLY NEXT% version 1. So when we look up against the potential benefits, I think it's 3.1% versus 4% in terms of the one recorded for the ALPHAFLY, the fresh pair at least. So a bit of a drop there. Doesn't seem as if the shoe's as effective for the runner involved in that test. It's still better than a day 2 Vaporfly NEXT% though, and your various Metaspeed Sky models from ASICS. Though even an ALPHAFLY at 400 kilometers had a higher score, and it was 3.43 improvement, so there we go. So you could say that the new version of the shoe isn't quite what the original was, though bear in mind that the ALPHAFLY NEXT% 2 is still better than a popped ALPHAFLY. I did like that because some people do seem to pop these AirPods. I've never done it myself, but the ALPHAFLY NEXT% 2 is still better than a popped ALPHAFLY original. Remember, one shoe might work better for one runner against another, so I don't think it's the final word on this one. You have to remember that people are people, we're all different, certain things work better for others. For me at least, I think I'm preferring the ALPHAFLY NEXT% 2, but then again, I'm not some elite runner that can operate at these high paces all the time, especially not these days. The legs just don't want to do that. If you've got both of these shoes, how are you feeling about them? Is one working better than the other? I find that I'm reaching for the ALPHAFLY NEXT% 2 a little bit more in training at least. When we come to racing, well, we'll see what happens. Story 2. I did post a video, I think it might have been last year, maybe earlier this year, I can't remember, it's all just kind of 1 year to me, about Nike trail shoes, whether they were going to release one that has ZoomX in the midsole. And they have finally done this. They've launched their new ZoomX trail shoe, the ZEGAMA. This one features that same SO2 carrier foam and the famous Pebax-based ZoomX material, and it's probably been utilised within a carrier to try and protect that more fragile stuff from the rocks and the debris that you're going to find out on the trails. The shoe does include a rock plate within the midsole foam, and I'm keen to see just how tall the stack is in the shoe. I suspect there's some substantial sidewalls there to try and improve the stability of this one. I'm expecting sensations similar to the superb VOMERO 16, which had this exact type of foam setup. In fact, I think there's a little bit more rubber on the bottom of the VOMERO 16 than this one. Work that one out. It's a touch more expensive at retail at 145 Earth credits. Oddly, the listed weights for the men's and women's sizes are in different sizes. 266 grams for the women's size 8 and 318 grams for the men's size 10. So not entirely sure why Nike have decided to do it this way. It's probably going to be a little bit lighter than the Invincible run in my UK size 11, US size 12. I have grabbed a pair for review. They should be in relatively soon, so I'll get out there on the trails and see what ZoomX is made of. Well, I know what it's made of, but what I'm made of when I'm wearing the ZoomX. Yeah, something like that. Have you picked up a pair of the ZEGAMA? Let me know down in the comments. Story 3. Lots of discussion and talk about the women's 100-meter hurdles at the recent World Athletics Championships in Oregon. A world record time was recorded of 12.12 by Toby Amerson. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. If I haven't, I'm very sorry and I don't mean to upset anyone. That was in fact during the semi-final of the event. She in fact ran faster in the final. I think it was 12.06, but sadly that was not a valid time, or for the world record at least, due to the fact that there was too high a following wind. I think it was by about 0.5, something like that, mile an hour, which is not a lot really. Has the timing technology improved now? So are we getting more accurate times? Did the wind really assist at all? Was it at that exact moment at the start of the race, at the end of the race? Surely a load of people running around you as well is going to change the wind speed and direction, or at least the amount of resistance that there is. So it's a bit sad that it's not an allowable figure, because that lady was really moving. I think she hit 12:40 in the actual heat, so she got progressively faster as she went through the event. I think it's totally down to athlete performance here, nothing to do with shoes really. I think she could have worn any shoes and she would have still produced an incredible time. But of course, people are a bit obsessed with that type of stuff, especially from a negative perspective. They always seem to say, oh, it's the shoes, and it moves the actual glory away from the runner a little bit. I think it's a bit off really, it's just not cricket. Toby wore the Adidas Adizero Avanti track shoes. I think they're actually intended for like 5 to 10k racing. Absolutely legal for this discipline though. I've got to be honest, I'm not going to try the hurdles. I think I'd just look ridiculous trying to do that. Quite the tech in this shoe, which bears considerable resemblance to the Takumi Sen current model at least, and certainly an interesting choice for this type of event. I think Adidas lists that as like 27mm in the heel and 19mm in the forefoot, so I think that makes it just within the requirements. Is that right? Oh, I thought it was 25mm in the heel. Who knows? It seems to all be fine though, so alright. Well done Toby on a fantastic gold medal performance there. There was some fantastic running at that. I've been looking back through all the events in fact, and one day I might have a go at the javelin. Maybe. Story 4. I've been a keen user of Garmin watches for some time now, guys. I've been very lucky to be able to test out a load of different ones, and they're all hitting a certain bar, you know, there's always that sort of level of performance and quality with them. They all seem to fit into this really great little pocket of the profile, how lightweight they are. Certainly for someone with a slimmer wrist, they just don't seem to protrude too much from my arm. When you're trying to look after kids and do lots of manual work, which I'm doing at the moment, like painting and exciting things like that, they don't seem to get in the way too much, and I like that. Garmin have launched 2 updates to their Forerunner models. The 255 now has multi-sport functionality, but also that really cool heart rate variability statistic as well. And it also gives you suggested workouts, which is something that I've been using a lot over the last few weeks. Running power is also included, so you can try and figure out what your suggested running power is, perhaps for different race events, different sort of levels of effort, so you can help adjust what you're doing over the course of a week or a month. There's a fantastic 14-day battery life here if you're using it in smartwatch mode. I think you get about 30 hours in GPS mode, so should be enough for people to do some longer distance events. There are standard and solar versions available now of the Forerunner 955. That's a watch that I've just been testing out actually over the last couple of weeks. I absolutely love it. There's so many great features. I will have a full in-depth review of that one coming up within the next week or so. This watch is lasting absolutely ages in the summer months due to that solar power feature. I'm finding the wrist-based heart rate really accurate on this one as well. I've been able to leave my Polar OH1 Plus arm strap at home. This thing just does it now. I don't need that other strap. Really accurate even when we've got some quite cool weather in the morning and it starts to heat up. That's when I found that wrist-based heart rate seems to fail a little bit. Not with the 955. The multi-band GPS we have here within the watch as well is a big update. I'm really enjoying that so far. It just seems to be a tiny bit more accurate over known distances on my regular routes. I'm enjoying the training readiness feature as well. It is strangely accurate. It just knows when you've been out on a pool match until midnight and you didn't get as much sleep as you did the night before. It knows, and it sort of wags its finger at you and says, come on, get some rest, EDDBUD. Both models and variations of these watches are available right now from Garmin. I'll put some links in the description if you want to go and check them out. What sports watch do you use to log all your running miles? Maybe you don't. Maybe you've just got a stopwatch and you use a pen and a piece of paper. I'd be keen to know what you guys are utilising down in the comments. That's all the running news for this week. If you spot a story with those eagle eyes, let me know on the email in the description of this video. Today's musical interlude comes from 2015's Beatles Baby by Casper Baby Pants. Fantastic music if you have young kids, young children. I do. He's coming up for 2 now and he particularly enjoys this one. Casper Baby Pants do lots of original music as well, but they've also done an album where it's all Beatles covers but in sort of kids mode. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is absolutely fantastic, lots of wonderful brass in there. Strawberry Fields is fantastic as well. The intro sounds like it's been played on like a kid's keyboard. My kid's got one of those and likes to play like really disturbing sort of chords on there. I don't know how he does it, but he holds down certain keys and it just sounds really sinister. Don't you find those kids' keyboards are just really sinister sounding, the types of sounds they've included. Their version of Lady Madonna as well has all the essence of the original, but it's just made even more quirky and odd. If you're trying to keep your kids busy this summer, it's always tough, you know, finding stuff to keep them occupied. Go and listen to Casper Baby Pants with Beatles Baby. Thanks for tuning in, people. It is always appreciated. Help to keep the channel growing by giving us a super thanks below, perhaps if you have a question you want answered straight away. Or you can join and become a member as well and gain access to a few more perks. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications if you want to be notified. Also give this video a thumbs up, like and share this video with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD and I'll be seeing you.